Hi everyone, my name is Vasudha. Welcome to my channel. In my last video, I mentioned that in the beginning of this new year, I did my bookshelf reorganization and I also donated some books. So I'm going to share my bookshelf reorganization and book donation in this video. So let's dive in. Hey, but wait a minute. I know book donation is a very sensitive topic for some book lovers because the very thought of donating books can be preposterous to many bibliophiles. And also, books are their prized possessions. Honestly, it took me also quite some time to make up my mind to donate my books, to pass them on. And it wasn't an easy decision, especially for books which I really enjoyed reading. So, one thing that really convinced me to part with my books was that no matter how big your home is, no matter how much space you may think you have, there cannot be enough space to accommodate, to keep all the books that you desire to read. So, given the fact of this space issue, plus also the fact that I will not be rereading the books that I have already read, and I did not honestly find any point of keeping them in my bookshelf for endless years to come, I thought that it's best to part ways with my precious books and to spread the joy of reading. So, with that benevolent thought, with that altruistic thought, I decided to donate my books, but not just to anybody. I chose very consciously, very thoughtfully. I decided to go through a list of book donation centers in Delhi. I did this exercise a couple of years ago also. I called each one of them, spoke to them, what's their policy. I went through their websites, I read up about them, why are they collecting books, where do these books go, who benefits from them, and so on. And earlier, couple of years ago, because of some time constraints also, I just could not donate my books. But this time I was determined to make my bookshelf lighter, and because I had already visited the May Day bookstore, I decided to go with them. And also, back in Canada, there are many free cycle groups which keep on passing on these used items, and they are in excellent condition, and these range from household items to footwear to gadgets to clothes and everything in between, including books. So I passed on a lot of my books in Canada also to these free cycle groups, to people who I know are serious readers. So that's one satisfaction I get by choosing to donate my books to these free cycle or recycle groups. And you can check them out too in your area, in your community. If you have on Facebook, you can find many such groups. And one of the biggest factors for choosing book donation for me was to save the environment. Honestly, imagine how many books are being published every minute, even as we speak. And I do understand that the publishers and the authors do gain a lot from the sales of their books. But if you have read some books which you are no longer going to reread, or if you have some books which are many years old and which you think are not serving any purpose for you, then it's better to pass them along. And that way we are saving the environment, we are cutting down on the environmental costs as well. Plus, think of those people who cannot really afford new books. I mean, second-hand books are cheaper, and if you donate them to book centers, book donation centers, they will be charging a lesser price if they are reselling them. Some book donation centers even give the same books for free to other people when they have their second-hand book sales and stuff. So why not help those people who have less resources to afford books and help them to also enjoy reading. Another very big factor for me to donate my books was this whole philosophy of minimalism that I'm trying to imbibe from the last couple of years. And I'm trying to downsize, I'm trying to reduce the clutter from every aspect of my life. So when I see that I am not using the books which are lying down in my bookshelf for years, then I have to make this conscious decision of giving them away. And this way I also feel mentally less burdened, to be very honest. It just kind of feels very light on your mind that you don't have to take care of so many books, and you also visually find the bookshelf to be more appealing, because a lot of times these negative spaces, these blank spaces, have an immensely positive effect on your brain. And then I also have switched to audiobooks. I mean, I love my books. I am very old school like that. I like to open my books, I like to smell them, I love the fragrance of the books, and especially turning the pages with my hand, the whole sensory experience that you get. But technology has seeped in our lives, and we have to move on with new technology. We have to incorporate it in our lives. So I also moved to audiobooks, and that helps me, honestly speaking, to increase my reading time. And there had been so many weeks on end when I could not even pick up a book. The whole time I kept planning that I will find time, I will make out some time for reading, but it never happened. So opening a book in its physical form was very difficult for me given my time constraints, and therefore switching on to audiobooks really helped me, because even when I'm doing some very monotonous chores like washing the dishes, for example, or doing something very mundane and on autopilot mode, I can switch on to listening to books. So that really helped me. And in Canada, there are two apps given by the library there, through which we can download unlimited amount of audiobooks. So that really helps me to continue my reading habit. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you should empty your bookshelves entirely and you should give away every book that you have read. That's far from it. I'm only suggesting that if you have read books which you no longer need, which you are no longer going to repeat reading, it's better to pass them along for various reasons that I have just discussed. I hope one of the reasons will convince you also. And I'm pretty sure that in different cities around the world, there are many book donation centers which welcome these second-hand books. And even if you are not getting anything in exchange of those second-hand books, trust me, just pass them along and you are going to do a great service to the reading community and the environment. And this whole bookshelf reorganization exercise began just randomly one day in the beginning of this year. It had been on my mind for a very long time that I have to clear out my bookshelf and I have to donate books, but it just began one day randomly. So I'm just going to take you straight in. Guys, once again, bookshelf cleaning is on the way, and you'll see stuff which I don't even want to show. So many of the things that are just lying here, and I'm finding it damn irritating to even take them out. But one of them is this DIY I did easily 10-12 years ago. So I just want to show you a couple of things here very quickly. So these are two books actually which were gifted to me by a very dear friend, my soul sister, so to say. She even wrote me a letter. She's Vietnamese, lives in London. I met her in one of the workshops back in the day in, I believe we met in the US. Yeah, we had met in the US. So she had gifted these to me, and I also want to show that, once upon a time, Amazon used to give such cute, interesting bookmarks, and I used to save them um, for reading purpose, of course. These are books over here which I cannot part with. I have read these poems like 100 times, but I cannot give these away. This one was gifted to me by my husband, so that will remain special. And these are some of the books that I have collected so far for donation purpose, so I'm going to add maybe a few more in the pile. This is totally insane, guys. I found money in my old book. Oh my god, I am rich. Think there's more, right? Wow. Ooh la la. I never keep money in books. I don't know what made me do that. Let me check all my books. Oh my god. Yay. And guys, let me know if you also make, bookmarks out of anything and everything. This was actually a ticket to, I believe, one museum, yeah, in the Andamans, which I visited many years ago in 2009, I believe, or maybe even before that. So this is the ticket actually, and I loved it. It's glazed paper, and why to waste it, right? So we use it as bookmark. So these are the piles of books which I will be donating, and this is to the Mayday bookstore. I have spoken to the person concerned over there, and they will be sending somebody to pick up these books. These are the books which I think I might take back with me to Canada, because there are some free cycle groups over there, so people might be interested to read these books. These are again some books which I bought them in Canada. This was something my husband picked up from free cycle group in Toronto, and I think I can pass it on now. So basically these are the piles of books which I am going to say bye bye to. And now here my bookshelf looks very neat, very empty, and I'm satisfied that way. I don't want to accumulate too many books. My idea is also to actually at some point pass them on. Down below I have in this shelf some of the non-fiction books that I own. On this shelf, these are some of my journals. These are some of the books on, you can say, self-help genre, and these are books on poetry. These are the books which my husband had gifted me many years ago, and these are books again which I purchased from Amazon many years ago. There are many of them I have still not read. Many of them are still intact and in a very neat, tidy condition. And here are also some mixed, books, fiction books here. And once upon a time, I was just in a crazy phase where I wanted to read Shakespeare's plays. So I got quite a few of them, and I have not touched them till now. So that's pretty much it. That's how my tiny little bookshelf looks, and it's empty. I might add a couple of, decorative pieces here and there, but that's just about it. So this is the final goodbye to my precious books which I have read and enjoyed over the years, and now it's time to pass them on. So I chose this Mayday bookstore for two reasons. One was that when I went to the Mayday bookstore, I myself saw that they have second-hand books on sale, and they have specific days in certain months where they do their second-hand book sales. So it's very genuine, it's very authentic, and I was completely satisfied. I checked it myself, I was convinced. And secondly, they come to your home to pick up the books. So they give you this service of coming to your doorstep, picking up the books literally from right outside your home, free of charge. Honestly, it cannot get any better than this. But call them in advance, call them and fix a time, because they are not free. It's not like you call them, hello, I want to donate books, and they will say, oh yeah, we'll come running today. It doesn't happen like that. They have a lot of engagements, so you have to coordinate with them. You have to decide on a mutually convenient time and day, and of course someone from their bookstore will come and pick it up. And make sure you have some good amount of books. I donated 30 books and I was quite satisfied myself that I made their trip worthwhile. So these are the 2 boxes and a packet, and this is Amit, who works at Mayday, and he was also the assistant manager there when I went, and very helpful staff, I have to say. Thank you, Amit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. आपने
Thank
ये
you.
donation दिया हमारे लिए बहुत ही कारगर है।
No.
Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. So that's pretty much it, and I hope you are convinced as well to donate some of your books at least. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Until my next video, thank you and bye.